What does it cost to live in one of the most expensive countries in Europe, maybe also in the world, where this simple plastic bag costs 7 Norwegian kroners, tiny box of strawberries 100 kroners, and blueberries 64 kroners, and that's on sale. Let's first talk about living cost, renting or buying, which of course in the capital Oslo is the most expensive, and if you ask me, it's dumb expensive. You can get like a tiny one-room apartment in the middle of the city, sure, for around or even over 3 million kroners, which equals 300,000 US dollars. That's for a tiny one-room apartment. Now we live a bit outside of Oslo, like 10 to 15 minutes by train. So it's a little bit cheaper, but it's still expensive. So we rent a house here where we have 6 bedrooms. Oh, we don't have 6 bedrooms. We have 6 rooms, 1 bedroom, but we have 2 living rooms. This is one of them, where we have the sofa and the TV, where we usually chill and in the evenings and at nighttime. Then we have this living room, which is more of a daytime living room, where we have birds and the plants, jungle place for my fiance, and I have my office, where we also have a big garden and a garage with a small storage space here, where I also have some gym equipment stored here. And for this 10-15 minutes outside of Oslo, we pay 15,000 Norwegian kroners each month, which isn't bad at all. You know, you can get in Oslo, you can get the same, like a small tiny one-room apartment for the same price. Also, if you come here for a hotel, hotels are, I would say, a minimum 2,000 Norwegian kroners per night. If you get it below 2,000, you're lucky. Even if you get it at 2,000, you're kind of lucky. I guess you have to go above 2,000. So yeah, our living costs for housing is 15,000 Norwegian per month. Next up, groceries. Every month we put aside 7,000 for 2 people, 7,000 Norwegian kroners for food and groceries. But usually every month we go above that budget by maybe 1,000 or 2,000 Norwegian kroners. Some of the prices here is a pack of 18 eggs is 60 to 70 kroners. Cheese, 1 kilo, around 140 kroners. Bread ranges anywhere from 29 to 50 kroners, depending on what type of bread you want. 250 grams of coffee is around 60 kroners. A protein bar ranges from 27 to 40 kroners. 40 kroners? I've seen in Dubai they're like 45 to 50. I still bought them though. Jesus, I'm an idiot sometimes. Anyways, I think protein bars, 40 kroners. That's a robbery, bright daylight. These, which are half empty, so that's 50 kroners in 10 minutes. These are 100 kroners for strawberries. Sure, they taste like heaven, but 100 Norwegian kroners, $10? It's too much, man. But Jesus, they're good. And like I said, 7 kroners for just a plastic bag. Food is expensive here. In total, we spend about 9,000, 2 people, on food, groceries. 3, commute transportation. This is maybe the biggest scam we have here in Norway. I take the train twice a week to work for 45 minutes, and then I buy like a monthly, it's called periodebillett, that lasts for, it's a monthly ticket, that lasts for 28 days, and that costs 2,500 Norwegian kroners, which equals about $250. If you ask me, that's crazy. And what's crazier is the trains here, never on time, always something, always late, cancelled, never any notice, never any information. And to be one of the richest countries in the world, that's nuts. So for transportation, I spend 2,500 each month for a train. That is so dumb. In general, getting from A to B, I usually walk. Sometimes I drive in Oslo. I prefer to walk. The best way to get around is walking, the subway or metro or whatever it's called, or like these electric scooters. But if you travel to Norway, don't go to Oslo. Go to like the west coast, up north, or even the south. It's much nicer. So for gas is usually around 750 Norwegian kroners to 20 Norwegian kroners per liter. I don't drive too much. If I do, it's mostly like quick errands and stuff. So I maybe fill up the tank like twice, average twice a month. A full tank is about 650, depending on the price of course, but around 650 each time. So I'd say total gas per month would be 1,300 Norwegian kroners. Now the fun part, gym membership. The average gym membership here is around 600 to 800 Norwegian kroners, depending on like what type of gym it is. I train at 2 different gyms, but one of them I work at, so it's free. But the monthly membership is 749 kroners. But it's an insane gym with a lot of great equipment and a lot of cool other fun stuff. And the other membership I have is just a standard gym, which is 500 kroners each month. For gym membership, I spend $500. No, I don't. I spend 500 kroners each month, which is about $50. Eating out, another fun one. Strawberries are really good. In general, I think people eat more out in other countries than in Norway, especially me. I don't eat out too often. We eat out at a restaurant maybe like 1 or 2, maybe even 3 times. Depends like if there's anything special. But yeah, I would say on average 1 or 2. Now, you can get a burger or a pizza in Norway for maybe 120 to 150 kroners for a burger and a pizza around 100 to 200 kroners. Also above 200, like 250, even 300. Kind of depends what kind of quality and yeah, what you want. But it's a big price range for burger and pizza, but that's the cheaper alternative because nicer restaurants are more expensive. For example, on average, a glass of wine is at least, for one glass, 120 kroners, $12. I'd say that's the like mid price. If you want a bottle of wine, that would be closer to $80. Of course, depending on what kind of wine, but I would say like between 600 and just above 1,000. Dinner outside, like for steak, usually around 300 to right around 500. So for example, this month we ate outside at a great local restaurant, steak restaurant called Carmen, a Latin American restaurant. Amazing food and a lot of food. So we split something called a churrasco, which is tons of different meats. I think like 5, 6 or 7 types of meats, and that's for 2 people, 1,300 kroners, which isn't bad at all for quality food and all the food you get. And with drinks, maybe around 50 to 60 kroners per, like for Pepsi Max, which is usually what I drink when I'm outside. Pepsi Max without ice. So I don't want the ice to melt and then it becomes water, and then you have Pepsi Max with water, so the Pepsi Max is just gone. I just want a cold Pepsi Max without water, so it's Pepsi Max. I like that. So in total, we get a dinner here at 1,360 kroners, and that's what we spent eating out this month. Then we got the boring stuff, electricity. Usually we average at 800 kroners. Last year it was half the price, but we have some politicians here that they're just dumb, not the brightest. So yeah, it's twice the price now. Nice. Internet, which is 780 kroners or 783 to be exact each month. Only thing I splurge on, I would say, is energy drinks. Like Monster. I drink, yeah, more or less 1 Monster each day. I try not to. I try to become a better person and stop it, but it's good, man. It's refreshing, it's cold, especially when it's summer. It's just nice. 30 kroners each day on Monster, which equals 900 kroners each month, which is money down the toilet, to be honest. But it is what it is. Let me have another strawberry. So that equals the grand total per month I spend. Some of this is 2 people. Groceries and rent, we split somewhat. Grand total, 31,750 kroners. Some months less, some months more, depending on a few factors like eating out and stuff. But yeah, that's a little over $3,000. And I think we spend a lot less than most people. That's it. Hope you liked the video. If you've been to Norway, let me know where you was. If you want to go to Norway, let me know. Like I said, if you want to travel to Norway, I would recommend West Coast, up north, or even south before Oslo. Hope you liked the video. Subscribe, like, and see you in the next one.